Hi students, observe this particular question. 10 pairs of shoes are in a closet. 4 shoes are selected at random. Find the probability that there is at least one pair among the 4 selected. Okay, total 20 shoes are there. From those 20 shoes, we have to select 4 shoes. That can be done in 20 C4 ways. But he is asking there is at least one pair. So select one pair from total 10 pairs. That can be done in 10C one ways. Okay, I selected one pair. After selecting one pair from the remaining 9 pairs, total we have here 9 pairs are there. From the remaining 9 pairs, select 2 pairs. I selected, suppose, these 2 pairs. So from this selected pair, it has 2 shoes are there. From those 2, select any one. Here also from these two, then select any one. So that is the answer for that particular question. At the same time, he is asking either one pair, 2 pairs we have to select, because he is asking at least one pair. There may be one pair, there may be 2 pairs. So from these 10 pairs, 2 pairs can be selected in 10C 2 ways. Okay. The same question we can approach in another way also. Total from 20 shoes, 4 shoes can be selected in 20 C4 ways. Now I am finding no pair. No pair means from 10 pairs, select 4 pairs. Suppose I selected these 4 pairs. Now from these 2 shoes, select one shoe. 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 You can observe here, this is the probability that there is no pair. For this, the complement is at least one pair. So this is also the answer. You can proceed like this. So observe the second question. There are 4 addressed envelopes and 4 letters are there. These are the 4 envelopes and we have 4 letters. So they mailed, he is saying all the letters are not mailed through proper envelope. That means all the letters are reached to the wrong address. So here I am going to use the de-arrangement principle. I hope so everyone is familiar with the de-arrangement principle. Out of n letters, all the n letters will go to the wrong address is equal to npn into 1 minus 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 by 2 factorial minus 1 by 3 factorial plus and so on plus minus 1 whole to the power of n divided by n factorial. That means all the letters will go to the wrong address. So he is saying 4 letters. First of all, these 4 letters can be arranged in 4 envelopes in 4p4, that is 4 factorial ways. All the letters has to reach to the wrong address. That's why de-arrangement of 4 objects. That means 4 factorial into 1 minus 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 by 2 factorial minus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1 by 4 factorial. I hope so you can do this simplification. You are going to get the answer for that. Right, observe this particular question. The probability that a positive 2-digit number selected at random has its tens digit at least 3 more than its unit digit. So total from, so this place can be filled in 9 ways because 0 cannot fill here, and this place can be filled in 10 ways. Total we have 90 possibilities are there for a 2-digit number. But he is saying that whatever digit here you are filling, that will be 3 more than the digit what we are filling here. Suppose you see here, the digit at tens digit is at least 3 more than units digit, right? Suppose in place of x we are filling 9. If you are filling in place of x 9 means, then what are the possibilities for y? You can fill 0, difference is more than 3. You can fill 1, you can fill 2, you can fill 3, you can fill 4, you can fill 5, you can fill 6. difference is greater than or equals to 3, because he is saying difference is positive due to the selected random, tens digit is at least 3 more than its unit digit. That's why we have total, in case of 9, 7 possibilities are there. Suppose this place you are filling with 8. Here if you fill with 8, then you can fill here 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. That's why we have 6 possibilities are there. Similarly, in case of 7, we have 5 possibilities. If you continue like that, in place of x we are filling 3, then we have only one possibility, that 0 we have to fill in place of y. That's why in this case only one possibility. So now I can write total possibilities. We are getting 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and so on plus 7 are the favorable possibilities. That is nothing but 7 into 7 plus 1 divided by 2 is the answer for that particular question, because we got the favorable cases by total number of cases. So observe the next question, number 4. What is saying in question number 4? A 5-digit number is formed using the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without repetition. The probability that the number is divisible by 6. A number is divisible by 6 means definitely it is divisible by 3. It is divisible by 2 also. Then only the number is divisible by 6. But you know, it is divisible by 2 means the last place we have to fill with either 2 or 0 or 4. But it is divisible by 3 means sum of the digits must be a multiple of 3. Sum of the digits must be a multiple of 3. Okay, you can observe this sum. Total sum is equals to 15. Total sum is equal to 15. That's why if you want to remove, because we required a 5-digit numbers sum, here total 6 digits are there, definitely we have to remove one digit. We have to remove the digit what we are removing, maybe 0, it may be 3. You can't remove any other digit. If you remove 0, sum is 15 only. If you remove 3, sum is 12. It is a multiple of 3. Okay, first of all I will find out the total number of cases. This place can be filled in how many ways? This place can be filled in 5 ways, and the remaining 6 places, this place again can be filled in 5 ways, this place can be filled in 4 ways, this can be filled in 3, and this can be filled in 2 ways. That's why the total number of possibilities we are getting 600. 5 5 25, 4 100, 100 into 6, 600, right? Now my question is, when 0 is removed, the first case is 0 removed. Now we are finding the number of 5-digit numbers when 0 is removed that are divisible by 6. So definitely this place we have to fill with either 2 or 4. So 2 is, because 0 is not there now, we are using these digits only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we are using. Among these 2 digits, 1 digit we filled in the units place. Now remaining how many digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 digits are there. 1, 2, 3, 4 digits are there. They can be arranged in these places in 4 factorial ways into this place has 2 options. That's why in this case we are getting 48 possibilities. Next case is when 3 is excluded. When 3 excluded, what happens? 5-digit numbers, when 3 is excluded, suppose this place is filled with 0. When that place is filled with 0, definitely it is divisible by 3. Now 3 excluded means remaining digits are what? 0, 1, 2, 4, 5. 0 filled in this place. The remaining 4 numbers can be arranged in 4 places in 4 factorial ways. Next possibility is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now the next possibility, suppose here I am filling 2. If I filled 2 there, then because these are the digits we have 0, 1, 2, 4, 5. 2 is filled in this units place. Now this place has only 3 options. Among these three numbers, one number is filled in this place. Now how many numbers are there? Remaining three numbers can be arranged in three places in 3 factorial ways. So in this case we got 18. Similarly, if you fill 4 here, then also you will get 18. That's why total 48 in this case. Next 24 plus, and here we got 36. So these are the favorable cases, right? Now here asking 5 persons entered the lift cabin on the ground floor of an 8-floor building. Suppose that each of them independently and with equal probability can leave the cabin at any floor starting from the first. Find the probability all 5 persons leave at different floors. So that's why every person has 8 options. First person has 8 options to leave. Second person also 8 options to leave. Third person also 8 options to leave. Last person also 8 options to leave. That's why total number of possibilities 8 to the power of 5. But he is saying every person has to live in different floors. That's why those 8 persons can be arranged in 5 places in 8p5 ways. So that is the answer. So observe this particular question. The probability that birthdays of 6 different persons will fall in exactly 2 calendar months. So that's why first person has 12 options. Second person also having the same 12 options. Third person also have the same 12 options. Everyone is having the same 12 options. That's why total possibilities are 12 power 6. But what is saying in the question? The birthdays of 6 different persons will fall in exactly 2 calendar months. Okay, that's why from 12 months select any 2 months. Suppose I selected M1, M2, right? Now first person has 2 options. Second person also has the same 2 options. Third person also has the same 2 options. First of all, we selected from 12 months, 2 months selected. Now everyone is having 2 options. That's why 2 to the power of 6. But you can observe here, first person born in the month of M1, second person also M1, third person also M1, fourth person also M1, fifth person also M1, sixth person also M1. That means all these 6 persons birthday is in M1 only. That case we have to exclude. Similarly, all the 6 persons birthday is in M2. That case also we have to exclude, because he is saying will fall exactly in 2 calendar months. That's why all members birthday is M1 we have to remove. All members birthday is M2 also we have to remove. If you remove those 2 cases, so this becomes the favorable cases. So this is another interesting question you can observe. In a game called Odd Man Out, n persons toss a coin, determine who will buy refreshments for the entire group. A person who gets outcome different from the rest of the members of the group is called odd man out. Suppose you see the first person is getting head, remaining all members has to get a tail only. Suppose the all members they are getting head, then the first person has to get a tail. In that case we can say the first person is odd man out. So first person is getting head means remaining all the members they have to get tail only, or first person is getting a tail, the remaining all members they have to get head, then only we can say the first person is out of the game. He has to buy the refreshments for the rest of the people. So that's why from n members select any one person. That person is showing head and remaining all are tossing tail only. That's why that is 1 by 2 whole to the power of n minus 1, because first person getting head, remaining all tail, remaining all n minus 1 person's tail only. Getting head probability is 1 by 2, getting tail probability is 1 by 2. That is the first case. Or the next one is NC n minus 1. That means NC all the n minus 1 members are showing head, but this particular person which we are selecting is tossing a head. That's why 1 by 2 whole to the power of n minus 1 into 1 by 2 whole to the power of 1. Okay, so this is given as in the question 1 by 2, right? So if this value is equal to 1 by 2, because in the question is saying there is a loser in any game, is 1 by 2 given. So that's why, so NC1 1 by 2 whole to the power of 1, NC1 value is n, 1 by 2 whole to the power of n, plus NC n minus 1 value also NC1 only, 1 by 2 whole to the power of n. So that simplification you will get the value of n. From this I can write n value is equals to, that means n is equals to, we are getting 2 to the power of n minus 2, right? So n value, what is the n value? Because this is true when n is equals to 4. Okay. So observe this particular question, A and B toss a fair coin each simultaneously 50 times. The probability that both of them will not get the tail at the same time. So these are the possibilities for A and B. A is getting head, B also get head. A is getting head, B may get a tail. A is getting a tail, then B has to get head. So these are the possibilities. Total 4 power 50 possibilities are there, because these are the 4 possibilities every time they are tossing a coin 50 times. The probability that both of them will not get a tail at the same time. This is the one case where they are getting tail at the same time. If you exclude this case, then what happens? 3 power 50 is the answer for that particular question. Because suppose he is asking what is the probability both of them will get the tail at the same time, then answer becomes same, 4 power 50. This is the only one case both are getting the tail, that's why 1 by 4 power 50 is the answer if both has to get the tail at the same time. But in this particular question he is asking both are not supposed to get the tail at the same time, so that is the reason this is the answer for that. Two persons each make a single throw with a die. The probability they get equal value is P1. That means P1 is very easy, because he is saying equal means they have to get double it. 1 1, 2 2, 3 3 up to 6 6. That's why 6 by 36, that is equals to 1 by 6 is about P1. But what about P2? 4 persons each make a single throw and the probability 3 being equal is P2. So 4 persons means total how many possibilities are there? Total we have 6 to the power of 4 possibilities are there, because every person has 6 options. Now you can observe here, this is for the first person, second person and for the third person. So these 3 members has to get the same. So that's why from 6 any one number they can get, but this person has to get the different one. So the remaining 5 numbers he can select any one. Okay, so that means this person is getting a different than these 3 persons. Okay, so why this person only has to get the different? Any other person also may get the different. That's why from 4 persons 3 can be selected in 4C 3 ways. So we are getting 6 into 5 into 4C 3 value is equal to 4. So now that simplification we are getting 5 into 4 divided by 216, right? So among these two, which is more? This is 5 into 4 by 216, whereas this one is what happens? 36 divided by, because 36 multiplying, that's why it becomes 36 divided by 216. So this is P2 and this is P1. So I can say P1 is more than P2. See the next question number 10. 6 dice are thrown. The probability of getting a total of 34. So 6 dice are thrown means no doubt total number of possibilities 6 to the power of 6. But he is saying total we have to get 34. In which cases we will get total as a 34? 6, 6, 6, 5, 6 are 30 and here 4 is there, you will get 34. But how many these type of cases are possible? 6 factorial divided by, so 5 factorial here. Next other possibility is 6, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5. In this case also you can check sum, you will get 34. Now they can be arranged in 6 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 2 factorial. So these two sum is the favorable cases, that's why I can write 6 factorial divided by 5 factorial plus 6 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 2 factorial. Those are the favorable cases, so you will get the required answer. So observe the next question. 3 6-face dice are thrown together, that means 3 dice are thrown together. The probability that the sum of the numbers appearing on the dice is k, where k lies between 9 and 14. So then he is asking what is the answer. Answer also there in terms of k, like that remaining options also there. But for objective exam, better to remember, if sum is 3, you will get only one case. Sum 18 also you will get only one case, that is 6 6 6. Because sum 3 you will get 1 1 1 case, and sum 18 you will get 6 6 6 case only. Similarly for sum 4 you will get 1 plus 2, 5 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 7 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So that's why you can remember up to here easily. Whereas for sum 9 and 12, this is 25 possibilities, where sum 10 11 you have 27 possibilities. So these you have to remember for objective exam purpose. Now what I am doing is, sum of the numbers on the dice is 9 14, right? Now I am taking, suppose sum is equal to 9. Probability of getting sum as a 9 is equals to, you can observe favorable cases 25, sum 9 25, total number of cases we will get 216. Now in the options also put k is equal to 9. So in the option I am putting k is equal to 9 minus 9 square minus 83 divided by 216. Now this simplification you will get 189 minus 81 minus 83 divided by 216. You can check this simplification also, we are getting 25 divided by 216. So we can say first option is correct, because k, we are checking the probability that sum as 9, so that k is equal to 9 we substituted in the options also satisfying. That's why we can say the first option is correct. So he is saying that red die, blue die, green die and white die are rolled once. The dice are being fair. The outcomes on the red, blue, green, white is denoted with numbers A, B, C, D. That means A may take the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B also may take the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But is asking, E denotes the event that absolute value of this one is equals to 1. That means he has given modulus of A minus 1 into B minus 2 into C minus 3 into D minus 6. This modulus value is given as 1. So then what are the possibilities? Suppose you see total possibilities, no doubt, because 4 dice, each die having 6 options, that's why total 6 to the power of 4. Now observe here, suppose I am taking A is equals to 2, you will get this product as 1, because here also 1, here also 1, here also 1, either it is plus 1 or minus 1 we have to get. So A is equals to 2. What about B? In case of B we have 2 options are there. B may get 1, B value may be 3 also, because in case of 1 you will get minus 1, right? You may ask, sir, here 0. No, when a die is thrown, how you will get a 0? Next, in case of C also, we can get a 5 in place of C, or you can go for 4 also in place of C. But again in place of D, we have 5 and you can have 7 also. Don't say if D is equal to 7, not possible now, because when a die is thrown, how you will get 7? So that's why total how many possibilities are there? When A is equals to 2, B is equals to 1, C is equal to 5, D also equal to 5, right? So sorry, here C is equal to 2, not 5. C is equals to 2 possible or 4 possible. Okay, C is equals to 2. So A is equals to 2. I am taking B has a 2 possibilities. Among those 2 possibilities, one only I am taking. So A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1, C is equals to 2, D is equal to 5, one possibility. Suppose I change the B value 3, another possibility. Suppose I change the value of C as like that, total here 2. Similarly, if you change the values of C also, you will get 2 options. That's why total 4 favorable cases are there for this particular question. So you can observe this question: 4 pair dice D1, D2, D3, D4 each having 6 faces numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 rolled simultaneously. The probability that D4 shows a number appearing on one of D1, D2, D3, right? So these are the different possible cases. D4 is showing exactly what D1 is showing. Next, suppose D1 is showing same as D2, is same showing D4 also, that is another possible case. The next possibility case is D1 whatever it is showing, D2 also same number, D3 also showing same number, next D4 also showing the same number. That means here exactly 1 is coinciding, here exactly 2 members are coinciding with the D4, here exactly 3 members are coinciding with the D4. Here with the D4 only 1 member is coinciding, here with the D4 2 members are coinciding, here with the D4 all the 3 members are coinciding. He is saying shows a number appearing on one of D1, D2, D3, right? So that's why, so this is the first case. Now here what happens? D4 may coincide with D2, D4 may coincide with D3, right? Now here D1, D3 also may coincide, the other possibility, whereas here D2, D3 showing same number, that is shown by D4. So this is the last. So observe this case, how many possibilities are there? D1 has a 6 and these two has to show the same number, right? So here suppose 6 appears, here also 6 has to appear, but here 6 cannot appear, 6 cannot appear. So that's why from 6 numbers select any one number that is shown by D4 and D1, and the remaining they can show any 5, because this place 5 options and this place also. So here from 6 numbers you can select any one number for D1 and D4. So for D2 we have 5 options, because whatever number D4 and D1 got, D2 has 5 options, D3 also same 5 options. They can't get what they got here. So that's why 6 5s 30, 35s 150 are there in this case. So these type of cases we have 3, that's why 150 into 3 in this particular case. Whereas here what happens, from 6 numbers select any one number, right? So that is D1, D2, D4. For D3 again we have 5 options, okay? And again these type of cases, how many are there? We have 3 cases are there into 3. Now all are showing the same number, that's why from 6 numbers any one you can select. So that's why 6, now here 90 plus the next case we got 450. These are the favorable cases. By total number you will get same 6 to the power of 4. So if the letters of the word regulation be arranged at random, the probability that there will be exactly 4 letters between R and E. So between R and E there must be exactly 4 letters. Suppose here R, there must be 4 letters gap, okay, and then E, and then the remaining 4 letters, okay. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now what I am doing is R, gap, 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 and then I am calling it as E. I am considering this one as 1 unit. Now remaining 4 different units. Okay. So now first of all what to do, 10 letters can be arranged in 10 factorial ways. Now first I select 4 letters for these places. I can select 4 letters in how many ways? Remaining 8 letters, 4 can be selected in 8. See, 4 ways. After arranging them, they can be arranged. After selecting, they can be arranged in 4 factorial ways. Okay, this process is over. Now total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. They can be arranged in how many ways? 5 factorial ways. At the same time, R and E can interchange their places in 2 factorial ways. So this is the favorable cases by total number. He is saying the probability that out of 10 persons all born in April, at least 2 have the same birthday. Okay, so total 10 persons are there. First person is having 30 options because April month consists of 30 days. First person has 30 options, second person also 30 options. Every person is having 30 options. That's why total 30 power 10 are the total number of cases. But he is saying at least 2 have the same birthday. 2 members may have the same birthday, 3 members have the same birthday, 4 members have the same day as a birthday, 5 members, like that. All 10 members birthday is the same, like that we have to find out. Instead of finding that, what I am doing is all the 10 persons have different birthdays. That means first person has 30 options, whereas the second person has 29 options only. Third person has 28 options only, whereas the fourth person has 27 options. Fifth person has 26 options. That's why total 30p10. So this is the answer, that no person birthday is coinciding. So complement for this. So 1 minus this one is the answer for at least 2 have same birthday. So you can observe this particular question. Altitude through A. To A we are drawing an altitude. You know altitude's point of intersection is orthocenter. So this is an altitude. Okay. This is an altitude. Okay. So altitude intersection point is orthocenter. You know very well, orthocenter reflection with respect to the side BC lie on the circumcircle. That means for HE, D is the middle point. So that's why you can find out the coordinates of H, because for H point and for the E point, D will be the middle point. Orthocenter reflection with respect to any side lie on circumcircle. That's why D is the middle point of HE. So we will get the coordinates of H as -1, 1. Or H coordinate we got -1, 1 means what we can say? The orthocenter lie on the line y is equals to 1. So he is asking, because total we have 10 options are there. Y is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, y is equal to 3 and y is equals to 10. So that's why 10 options. Orthocenter lie on the line y is equal to 1. Favorable only 1. So that is the answer for this particular question. So you can observe this particular question. He is saying that the probability that all the selected numbers are consecutive or none of them consecutive. So I am assuming A is equals to all the selected numbers are consecutive. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3 numbers we are selecting. All the 3 numbers are consecutive. 3, 4, 5. Like that you can go up to 8, 9, 10. That means the total number of elements in A is equals to number of elements in A is equals to 8. Next, the second one is none of them consecutive. None of them consecutive means what? So how to find out none of them consecutive? Suppose I selected 2, 4, some 9. Yes, among these none of them consecutive or not. So forget about these three numbers. Forget about these three numbers. Now we have 1 and 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So now from these gaps select a number, then they are not consecutive or not. But how many gaps are there? Total 8 gaps are there. From those 8 gaps we have to select 3 gaps. That is the answer for number of elements in B. But now we have to find out number of elements in A union B. Number of elements in A union B is nothing but number of elements in A plus number of elements in B minus number of elements in A intersection B. Whether you observed or not, in A B intersection nothing is there. The reason is A denotes all the three numbers are consecutive, B denotes none of them is consecutive. That's why number of elements in A intersection B is equal to 0. That's why for this question the required probability is favorable cases are, that means 8 plus 8C3 are the favorable cases by total number. Total number means what? From 10 numbers you can select any 3 numbers. The same question we can do in another way also for finding the number of elements in B. For finding the number of elements in B we can do in another way also. What is B? Number of elements in B means B denotes none of them consecutive. So observe here what I am doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the numbers. Suppose I selected 1, 2, then how many options we have to select? You can select either 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. That's why if you select 1, 2, we have 7 options are there. Suppose if we selected 2, 3, then how many options we have? 6 options are there. If we select 3, 4, then we have how many options? Because you can't select 5. Yes, you can't select 2 also. So how many options are there? Here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you can select 1 also. In case of 3, 4 we have 6 options. In case of 4, 5 also 6 options. In case of 5, 6 also 6 options. In case 6, 7 also 6 options. 7, 8 also 6 options. 8, 9 also 6 options. But in case of 9, 10 again we have 7 options, right? So total 14 plus this one is how much? So 7 times 6 you will get 42. So total we are getting 56 favorable cases. What for this? This is for 2 are consecutive. Exactly 2 are consecutive. So for finding the number of elements in B, none of them is consecutive. Total 10C3, that is nothing but 120 possibilities are there total. From these 120 possibilities, all the 3 consecutive subtract, none exactly 2 are consecutive subtract. Yes, from total 120 possibilities, all the 3 are consecutive, exactly 2 are consecutive. That's what we got now. So you will get that one as 56, right? So 56 possibilities. I hope so this 8C3 value is also 56 only. That's why none of them consecutive we can calculate in 2 ways. One is by gap method, the other one is from total number of possibilities, all the 3 consecutive and 2 are consecutive, subtracting, you will get none of them is consecutive. Observe here the probability the teacher will give an unannounced test during any class meeting is 1 by 5. if a student is absent twice, the probability that he will miss at least one test. So suppose these are the 2 days the student is absent for the class. Day 1 the teacher conducted the exam. Day 2 the teacher not conducted the exam. Day 1 the teacher not conducted the exam. Day 2 the teacher conducted the exam. Next one is day 1 also she conducted the exam. Day 2 also she conducted the exam. So he is saying the probability that he will miss at least one test. These are the cases he is missing at least one test. That's why the teacher conducting the exam is 1 by 5, not conducting the exam is 4 by 5. Here the teacher not conducting the exam is 4 by 5, conducting the exam is 1 by 5. Here the teacher is conducting the exam, second day also she is conducting the exam. This is the answer for 9 by 25, the probability the student miss at least one test. Suppose he is asking the probability the student never miss the exam. So that means first day the teacher is not conducting exam, second day also the teacher is not conducting the exam, right? So that's why 4 by 5 into 4 by 5, this is the answer for the student not missing the exam. That is 16 by 25, the probability the student won't miss the exam. So that means complement for this only. But in this question he is asking the student has to miss at least one test. These are the 3 cases he is missing at least one test. Okay. So you can observe here for n independent events AI's P of AI is equals to 1 by 1 plus I given. Then the probability that at least one of the event occurs. At least one of the events means we have to find out P of A1 union, A2 union, A3 union and so on union AN we have to find out. That is nothing but because when they are independent events we can write this one as 1 minus P of A1 bar into P of A2 bar into P of A3 bar and so on. P of AN bar we have to find out in case of independent events. But now you can observe in the question he has given P of AI is equals to 1 by 1 plus I. But can you tell me what is P of AI bar is equals to 1 minus 1 by 1 plus I, that is nothing but I divided by 1 plus I. So that's why it becomes 1 minus what we will get here, A1 bar is equal to 1 by 2, A2 bar is equal to 2 by 2 plus 1, that's why 2 by 3, A3 bar is equals to 3 by 3 plus 1 and so on. If you continue, finally you will get AN bar is equal to N by N plus 1. Now you can observe 2 cancel, 3 cancel, 4 cancel and so on, N cancel. We are getting 1 minus 1 by N plus 1, that is nothing but N by N plus 1 is going to be the answer. Okay. You can see here A, B, C are mutually independent events. A comma B comma C are mutually independent events. Then what can you say about A comma B intersection C? If A comma B comma C are mutually independent events, what about A comma not B union C, A comma B union C, right? So observe here, to say they are independent events or not, we have to find out P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B, then we can say that they are independent events. So that's why I am finding P of A intersection B union C. If you say P of A intersection B union C is equals to P of A into P of B union C, then we can say these two are independent events. Now you can observe here, this we can write it as P of A intersection B union A intersection C. Just I applied the distributive law. Now we can write this one as P of A intersection B plus P of A intersection C minus P of A intersection B intersection A intersection C. Now I can write this one as P of A into P of B. Next one, because independent events there, P of A into P of C minus P of A into P of B into P of C. Now you can check from all these terms, we can take P of A common. If you take P of A common, you will get P of B plus here P of C minus P of B into P of C. P of B into P of C means P of B intersection C only. Now you can observe this is nothing but P of B union C or not. So that's why if A, B, C are mutually independent events, A comma B union C are also mutually. So two players A and B throw a die alternately. The player who throws a 6, he wins the game. So probability of getting number 6 is equal to 1 by 6. Probability of not getting a number 6 is equal to 5 by 6. Okay. So he is saying A starts the game. So A may win the game in his first chance, or A may win the game in his second chance. When A will get the second chance? A fails in his first chance, B also fails in his first chance, then A will get the second chance. So the probability of winning the game by A in his second chance, or A may win the game in his third chance. When he will get the third chance, A has to fail in his first chance, B also has to fail in his first chance, A has to fail in his second chance, B also has to fail in his second chance, then A will get a third chance. In that third chance he has to win. So this process will go up to infinite terms. Probability of winning the game by A in his first chance is 1 by 6. A has to fail in his first chance, B has to fail in his first chance, then A has to win his second chance. Next, A has to fail in his first chance, B also has to fail in his first chance, again A has to fail in his second chance, B also has to fail in his second chance, then A winning. So plus and so on. So this is 1 by 6 plus 5 by 6 whole square into 1 by 6 plus 5 by 6 whole to the power of 4 into 1 by 6 plus and so on. This is sum to infinite terms of a geometric progression with the first term as 1 by 6 and a common ratio as 5 by 6 whole square is the common ratio. So now that simplification is nothing but 1 by 6 divided by 1 minus 25 divided by 36. So that is nothing but we are getting 6 divided by 11. 6 by 11 is the probability that A wins the game. Suppose he is asking what is the probability that B wins the game, is equal to 1 minus 6 by 11, that is equals to 5 by 11. Suppose the same question if you want to do for an objective exam, we can do like this. P of A is equals to, directly we can write 1 by 1 plus F. But what is F? F is nothing but, in this particular case, failure probability. Getting a 6 is a success, right? But failure probability is 5 by 6 or not. That's why you will get 1 by 1 plus 5 by 6 is the answer. So you will get 6 by 11. Suppose you want to find out the probability of B winning, directly we can write F divided by 1 plus F. So that is nothing but you will get 5 by 6 divided by 1 plus 5 by 6. You will get the answer here as 5 by 11. Suppose here 3 events are there, then in that case we can write P of A is equals to 1 by, that means probability that A wins the game when A started the game, 1 by 1 plus F square. But what is the probability that B wins the game? f by 1 plus f plus f square. What is the probability that C wins the game? F square divided by 1 plus f square. You can observe this particular question. A, B, C in order, toss a coin. The first one to throw a heads wins the game. Assuming that the game continues infinitely, their chances of winning. But here, getting a head is a success. Failure is 1 by 2. That's why 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4, you will get the answer for A's winning. Right? Similarly, here what to do? 1 by 2 by the same denominator. Here 1 by 4 by the same denominator, you will get the answer. So you can observe this question. A biased coin with the probability P of head. Getting head probability is P. Is tossed until a head appears for the first time. The probability that the number of tosses required is even. Even number of tosses required. That means we have to get the success from second time, fourth time, sixth time, and so on. Suppose if you feel A and B toss a coin, that means B has to win. So that's why we can write here f divided by 1 plus f is given in the question as 2 by 5. What is f? F is nothing but 1 minus p, because success probability is p, failure probability is 1 minus p. 1 minus p divided by 1 plus 1 minus p is equals to 2 by 5. Therefore we are getting 1 minus p divided by 2 minus p is equals to 2 by 5 from this.